Okay, so I'm on a walk, this time in Bemovo, it's at night. I see my first advert here, using the End of the Mayan calendar, no doubt, or people's awareness of the end of the Mayan calendar as a way of selling. Obviously it's a teaser at the moment. We are supposed to try to work out what the product is, and maybe we can work it out from the fonts used, for example, or the way the image is presented. But at the moment it's just the word Koniec, which means the end, and a world exploding in a way, well, not dissimilar to the way that it might look in Watchtower publications, drawings of Armageddon, and the word the end there. So will the end take place now in the 21st of December? Well, at the moment we've got the 8th of November, so that gives us 22 more days of November plus 21 days of December to find out whether it will be the end. Personally, of course, I prefer to be guided as ever by the words of Jesus Christ, which say you don't know when the end of the world will be, and therefore that would all be wrong if it turned out that the Mayan calendar would mean that a whole civilization of human sacrificing pagans had known when the end of the world was, and even the Lord Jesus Christ on the earth said that even the Son hasn't been given that knowledge but only the Father, which is interesting. And people, of course, that try to deny the Trinity try to use that information given by the Lord Jesus Christ to deny the Trinity, even though in other places Jesus Christ explains that I and my Father are one. Still doesn't necessarily mean that that one God in three persons can't have a disparate sharing of knowledge and intentions about the future, or the guiding of those intentions within himself. After all, is it not that Jesus Christ tells us that the left hand should not know what the right hand is doing? So therefore, in the same way, even one God can have different levels of knowledge of what the left hand and the right hand are doing. So therefore, I don't see that that statement would necessarily counteract or countermand in any way the doctrine of the Trinity. Anyway, it's a walk next to these houses. It's called Oshed Lepshiyah, and these are now student hostels. There's another place like this. Well, I'll tell you what the original purpose of these wooden cabins, or finskiadomi, Finnish houses, was. Initially they were intended to house the people that were building the Palace of Culture, Stalin's gift to various Central European states, the wedding cake building in the middle of Warsaw. The people involved in its building were supposed to be accommodated in places here, and also on Ulica Yazdów, where I used to have an office. And these various, over there you've still got people that are living in them, normal people from the city, which are they're passed down from father to son. Here it's been turned into a kind of student accommodation, so that students get to live in those little houses. So, which is, I suppose, quite nice for them. Hopefully warm enough in the winter for them there. And I'm walking basically in order to obviously keep burning the old calories and burning away the old midriff, and to counteract the effects of my insulin resistance. The doctor says I have to do at least an hour a day, and that really My target is more ambitious than that. I saw a doctor today and the doctor was happy that I was keeping to the walking targets. I walked 195 in the end, it transpires, kilometres in October. Now it's November, it's already the 8th of November. So far, all being well, if this walk carries on as I'm planning, I should be still, well, as it is now, I would be on 55 since the beginning of the month. Is now the 8th, so it needs one more kilometre for that to be 56, which makes it an average of 7 per day. So if you carry that on over 30 days, that gives you 210, doesn't it? So that would be breaking the 200 record, which I'm trying to break now, so hopefully on track for breaking that record again. Now it becomes harder and harder, of course, as it gets colder. I'm obviously dressed now. I think you hopefully see it. There's light from that there street lamp. So I've got my nice new coat on from Campus. Campus is a brand which you should definitely support. And Alpinus is another. And so basically this nice new, I decided to get a lighter colour, as you see, lighter coloured, in order to be more visible in traffic, so that nobody's got really an excuse for bashing into me. But as you see, I haven't put the hood up because it's actually quite warm, and I don't need to yet. Don't think so anyway. So it's just a question of walking. I've done 4 already kilometres today around place to place before. Hi, how you doing? All right? Having a nice time guarding that property from me. And it's open here. You can come out. Okay. And a nice parade, if you like, of shops down at this point after having not had anything there for a while. So this walk could be anything up to, I don't know, it could be, because I started it right over in Bemover there up north. About, I don't know how much I've already been doing on it. Let me just check. Good point to checking it. Well, that's 6 now, so that's been 2 kilometres of this walk so far. Not a lot, but it's interesting because these are places where I've actually never walked about here before. I've been around here on the car, but it looks entirely different when you're walking it. I mean, in a car it's a big, like 2 or 3 lane road here, so you know, you can blink and miss it driving down there. But here you get to see every detail when you're walking. Much more pleasant activity, and hopefully that will keep me interested and therefore moving on, going forward, and making some progress. I don't know what the number 4 is doing there, flashing on and off. That's quite interesting, isn't it? Why they've just put the number 4 there flashing on and off the whole time. Maybe a red light 4 is trying to say that it's a little red light district. I don't know. I hope I'm not wronging them if that's not what it is. But that's the sort of thing that can happen in Poland. Anyway, that's not the purpose of this. There's a hall up there called Halavo. Presumably it must be Kalevala, because Wola is the area that we're coming into. We started in Bemowo on the crossing of Powstańców Śląskich, yeah, the Silesian uprising people, and Wrocławska, which is Wrocław Street. So on the crossing of those 2 streets there's a Statoil. The person that dropped me off there, I've had a little chat with a referrer of work who dropped me also off there because I wanted to start a walk in a new place. That was about, I don't know, half an hour ago, I think. Yeah, no, a little bit more than that, about 35 minutes ago. So it's still quite early days on this walk yet, and I'll see how it goes. But I thought, seeing that poster up there, as it was the first time that somebody decided to jump onto the end of the world bandwagon, which is in dubious taste anyway, that I'd just record that. It's a little bit, reminds me of when I was recording a few months ago all of the advertising that started to happen in Warsaw surrounding the European Championships in football. That was also interesting how everybody then started jumping on that bandwagon with their posters. The Polish poster actually is an art form. There's a Polish poster museum near Wilanów Museum, but that's not necessarily reflected. That level of art isn't necessarily reflected in most of the international style adverts that you get for a lot of the products on posters in Warsaw today. Some of them are quite good, some of them are really very good, most of them rather uninspired, some of them are downright useless. It takes all sorts, but they're there and you notice them, so that's why I wanted to share them with you anyway.